Anyways, as I was saying, there is no point in being competitive. Like honestly, like just look at what you're doing. Look at your life. Everyone is like spending so much time wasting their energy on what everyone else is doing. Stop. Think about yourself. What are you doing with your life? Are you happy? Are you heading the way you're like you don't need to wish ill upon everyone else in order for you to succeed. Like literally, if I'm gonna go to like let's take exams, okay? Because there's everything about exams, right? Entry exams for university and stuff. If I'm gonna go, I know I'm gonna get like a perfect score, like on my English exam for sure, and I don't care. I don't care if anyone else is gonna do better than me or worse than me. I hope they do well. I don't care. I don't care. I hope you do well because I know that if you do well in the long run, that's better even for me. I acknowledge that. I am not insecure to be like I want to be the best person. I want to get the highest score. Like that is not where my motivation comes from. You need to like in my opinion we have to like detach our emotions from like everything like examination and tests and like most of learning, but you'll get what I mean. Like you should care about what you're learning, but you shouldn't put all of your emotions and your worth um on your on your education, what you're learning on at the moment, okay? Because things become like so personal for no reason and not personal in the right way. It's not like, oh, I learned about this cool concept in physics that makes me look at life in a different way, like I care about, it becomes like this, like I didn't understand a concept, but I don't care that I didn't understand a concept. I care that I didn't score well on the test, and that's a problem. And like even when teachers care more about will you score on the test than actually learning, or like you like even today, like I was worried about my homework because I didn't do my math homework, right? And I thought I could do it like in my first period, but turns out I had math first periods, right? Whatever. And as I was like going, I thought like, what is she gonna do? If she's gonna check if we did or did not do the homework, does she think that's gonna make me want to do my homework next time? No, it's gonna make me feel like, what is the point of like you checking everyone's notebooks if they did the work or not? Because like if I miss a day because I forgot, like oh I was busy or whatever, are you trying to make me feel bad because I didn't do like one exercise one random day? Is that what this is about? And do you think that you may trying to make me feel bad is gonna make me want to do more math? Of course not. I'm not gonna do any math. You're gonna make me feel bad about this. Obviously, like if you create negative feelings about a certain subject or topic or whatever, then obviously people are gonna avoid it and won't want to like participate in it. Obviously, that's why I feel like we shouldn't tire our emotions so much on like these things, especially tests. Like I would worry so much growing up. In my teenage years, I worried so much about tests and grades and stuff. Turns out those things don't even matter. And I remember because like even when I scored well, I didn't even care. I have notes on my phone that said, I want to build something worthwhile. I'm tired of like taking a million tests for no freaking reason that doesn't like prove anything. That doesn't help me in any sort of way in the real world. It's exhausting and it's draining for no reason. It's not productive. It's not productive. It's not productive for me. It's not productive for society. It's just wasting time. And I feel like if like when it comes to tests, I feel like you should be able to. The whole thing about like not doing well on a test, it goes back to how the way that you were taught something. Like it would each like I could talk about this specific thing like for a really long time, but it's a different topic. But I can do whatever I want on my channel. So you're stuck with this. And honestly, they're intertwined in reality. So, as I was saying, um, yeah, learning. I love learning. I don't like school. I hate school. I love learning. I value education. I think education is and should be a human right, and everyone should have access to an education, regardless of whatever background they have. I advocate for that 1,000%. But at the same time, I acknowledge that there are certain things that are wrong with our current system and that haven't been updated ever since like public schools were made. And public schools were originally made during the Industrial Revolution to create workers, to train workers in reality. And the fact that we haven't really updated, the current school system, at least on a large scale, is highly upsetting, I would say. And it's just not good, you know? Like, how are you gonna have so many um you know persons, like, how are you gonna have, what's the word, we talk about education a lot in school, and we have it as a topic of discussion, and we write essays about it and whatever not. But what is the point of just, and like, even those topics, even like the way that we're taught, like the topic of education, we don't actually truly go in depth about it. We don't talk about how people in the past didn't really have an access to education, how where did the our current education system came from, and stuff like that. We don't talk about it. We just talk about like things, on the surface, and I think I'm not express myself very well, but at the same time, I don't. It's okay because I'm a human being. Anyways, I feel like you get what I mean. But yeah, I feel like I'm a big advocate for gamification when it comes to education because I think it's just so much fun, and it's just like creating a good system. Like, I can tell you that everything I learned has come from a good system. Like, when it comes to computer science in school, like it was always a system, and it was always like, first period, tasks, get the material, you look what you're gonna do with it on your computers. Second period, you go and do it on your computer and you actually use the knowledge that you just learn. Um, so it's a system, and when you do that over and over again, you actually like, oh, I'm understanding this at this right moment, and I can absorb this, and I understand it, and I will know for that forever, or for a long time, whatever. But when there are like good systems like that in place, and when they're not constant, when they're like random and whatever, then there's an issue. Because like you cannot put things on a test that we've never studied, that we've never solved before. You cannot do that. It's not like, look, I understand that maybe like someone wants like to you want like a challenging exercise or whatever for like someone, for the people who like understand everything. That's okay. But not all of them, or like most of them. I'm not complaining right now. I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining. I'm okay with my math teacher. I don't care. I don't care. But I'm just saying that, like, even when it comes to tests, I feel like we should be able to retake tests, because honest to God, what is the point of you like being able to take a test only once? And let's say you had a bad day, you felt bad, or you were sick, or was loud, whatever, bajillion excuses, right? And you're stuck with that test, or like that score, even in college, exams or whatever. Like, why shouldn't you be able to retake it? Like, obviously in university, you're able to like retake a certain exam after a period of time. Well, that's a good thing, and I am like that. Like, you should be able to retake tests and exams, and you should be able to take a test like so many times that you truly know the knowledge, that you truly memorize the knowledge, and it's just like another way of learning, like solving something like a bajillion times. Obviously, I'm gonna learn something if I solve it a bajillion times, or if I say it a bajillion times, or if I write it down a bajillion times. That's gonna help me. Anyways, I got off topic. But I'm saying that you don't need to be competitive in order to succeed. You just need to mind your business. Honest to God. Like, look, learn from other people for sure. But like, let's say I have my own, like, let's say I have a business, right? And obviously you're gonna look at the competitors for a bit, compare once in a while a bit, see what they're doing. Is there something that we could learn from that? Let's adopt that. Okay, let's see, and we grow. Okay, but that's it. That's it. It's a moment. It's like that. You check. You're like, oh, okay, and it's over. It's not 24/7. Oh, this guy's better than me, and it's like all this insecurity and all this like vengefulness, and like, I don't wish ill. I don't want to wish ill. Like, even if I want to check, if I was a business and I would check, if I check what another business was doing, I wouldn't be like, oh, I hope that business like gets destroyed and I have become the best. Like, I don't care. You have your customers, I have my customers. There's enough for us all. You don't have to fight. We don't have to be competitive. And obviously, I'm acknowledging all different points of view and circumstances in life, and etc., etc. And I understand how Some people I feel like are gonna like mention how they can come from like immigrant families, and yeah, they're you know they put on they have more pressure on their backs and whatever not. It's like that's valid, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get into a good university, but there's also nothing wrong with like not caring and like wanting to like go to a university in period. Not everyone's gonna go to an Ivy League as their bachelor. You know, if you want to go, you know, to an Ivy League. Oh my God, or like a prestigious school, you can do that for your masters, for your PhD, for like I don't know what a doctorate or whatever you want to do. I think it's such random, whatever. So yeah, don't worry about it so much. Like literally, like it's kind of like it's okay. I don't see the point of that. Just sit down, do your exercises, study, go do well, and call it a day. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm so emotional about everything, and I hope they don't do well. Like, you don't have to do that. And like, I guess like I understand that like from like you know when it comes to like NTRK and whatever, like other people not doing well, it's kind of like beneficial to you because your score gets bumped up or whatever. But like, if I get a full mark, and like almost everyone, do you guys think that that score will go lower than a full mark? No, it won't. So who cares? It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. Just mind your business, study, work on yourself, work on your business, work on whatever you want to work on. You know, look at other people, learn from them. If there's a system that you can try, okay, why not? But don't be so obsessive. Okay, chill out. Chill out. The world is not ending if you don't go into your dream school. Trust me, I'm the one speaking. I didn't get into my dream school and I was so close to getting in twice, and I will never be able to get into it. I cried and I was mad, and you know, I cried for literally months. But you know, my previous video, accept it and move on. Life is not gonna go your way. And honestly, that's not always a bad thing. It really isn't. Sometimes we want the wrong things in life. We want the wrong people. We want the wrong schools. We want the wrong whatever, right? Things are not good for us. And I learned this new thing in math. I cannot translate it, but it has to do with the. You know what? I'll translate it for you because I think it's useful. My parents are so funny. Like they send me drawings of each other. I checked my messages, but I can't.
In mathematics, a permutation of a set is, loosely speaking, an arrangement of its members into a sequence or linear order, or if the set is already ordered, a rearrangement of its elements.
Okay, so you heard it. Permutation is the thing that I learned, and what I realized from permutations is how, like it's insane. It's insane how many odds there are. You know, like how many ways of doing something there are. You know, like I remember there was this exercise that I wrote in my journal. I wrote in here. I wrote on my tablet. I'm gonna read it to you. Okay. It's in my journal actually. I found it. I learned something new in math. It's, well, let me tell you, the problem that stuck out to me. There are 5 girls and 6 boys who are going to sit in a row, and you know how many possible ways there are for them to sit in? It's 11 exclamation, which is wow, how can I even read that number? I think it's 3,628,800 ways, different ways. Can you believe that? And can you believe and I play that to everything in your life. Like 2 days ago, I went to McDonald's and I was gonna get some food because my mom wanted something, right? And I bumped into one of my friends, a friend that I haven't seen in like 2 years, and I thought if I just if I called my mom and I told her like, let's not get McDonald's, let's go to like another place or whatever, um, or if I went earlier, if I went later, then I would have missed her. And only that, like there was a row as well, there was like a row. So like imagine like different ways like this thing like could or could not have happened, and imagine like everything. Like imagine waiting in line to buy something at like, I don't know, recess or whatever, whatever you guys have, lunch, right? And like as you're waiting in line, there's like someone behind you and you talk to them and they become like your close friend ever. And that was all by coincidence. And imagine like all the different ways that you could have been sat in this line. A bajillion, a million ways. You could have been arranged in a million different ways. But like it was right. It was like right there for you to meet this person. It's insane. Like I'm sorry, but this thing, like it really makes me be like, wow, maybe destiny and like God are, in the universe, those things maybe like they play a bigger role in our lives than we think. Because like I even wrote in my journal how like I've always had like, oh, people thinking about destiny and stuff. I always had like, oh, that's stupid. Like it's like people being egocentric and only thinking about themselves. Like yeah, okay, human being, you think that the whole the world is so big, the universe is so large, and you little spectacle, you little ant person, you have a destiny. That's what I would honestly think deep down. But now, like after learning this and thinking a lot about it, like can everything truly be a coincidence? Like, could it really, could everything really be a coincidence? Everything, from one to zeros to everything that we've learned, from every single thing that's ever happened in your life, everything was just a coincidence. Like the odds of your life turning out the way that it has are so slim. They're so slim. It's insane. It's insane, and it's so cool. And it's like I think only when I was like this math concept, like mine, it stuck out to me. Like wow, math. It makes like all the past years of suffering. Honestly, I like math. Honestly, I feel like my life without math would be like weird and boring, because I need to suffer a bit. Actually, math is not even suffering. Like, it can be fun if you actually get what's going on. But yeah. Anyways, like it's insane, and I'm only saying that because whatever you believe in, if you believe there's something, if you don't believe there's something, if you believe universe, God, whatever else there is, um, it might just be because God has something better for you. It might just because that's just not your path. It might just be a not yet. I remember this quote. God doesn't say, or like God or like slash the universe, whatever you believe in, doesn't say no. It's a not yet, or I have something better. And I don't want to argue about if this thing is true or not, but can we like agree on one thing? Don't you think that? I don't think everyone will agree with me, but I think that if you believe that, you'll be a bit happier. That's another way to accept things. And I feel like it's another way of just being able to move on better, easier. Be like, you know what? Okay, that was just not meant for me. That's okay. There are other things that are meant for me. Oh, I cannot have this person? That's okay. God has probably something better for me. Honestly, I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that wholeheartedly. Like you cannot really force your path. And also, like I hated hearing that. I hated when I heard that people, when I heard people tell me it wasn't just, it was, I guess it wasn't meant for you. I hated that. I hated that so much because I was like, no, it felt so right to me. It felt like it was built for me. I never felt this way before, but it wasn't, and that's okay. Your brain isn't always right. Try to follow a bit your, like, even your intuition, even your thoughts, and like whatever, they're not always right, and that's okay. And I think it's better to just be like, I think honestly it's better to just say it wasn't enough for me. That's okay. I'll have something better. Instead of just being like, but this was the best thing. How can there possibly be something better? Because honestly, I said that. Someone has told me that, maybe like there'll be something better, and I'm like, what could possibly be better than this? Get into this specific school, and you know what? Turns out a lot of things. Turns out a lot of things. That's my thought. Like even this YouTube channel, I would have never started this. I would have never started this. I would have never started this, and I would have never started my other channel that has been doing really well. And still, there's so much time left to do so many more things. Sometimes it's a great thing that life hasn't gone as planned. And we have to embrace that. We have to embrace the idea that things won't turn out the way that we want them to. They can turn out better than we want them to. Sometimes we have small goals. Sometimes we don't dream big enough. And even when we think we do, maybe it was just not right for us, And I like that. I feel like that's true. That's what I believe. That's what I want to believe. And that's valid. I don't feel the need to compare myself to everyone. I'm just not the type of person that's gonna be like vengeful and ill and jealous and competitive and destroy myself for like concepts. That's not a priority for me. That's not my reality. I don't want that. I don't need that. Learning is fun. I enjoy learning. I think learning is incredible. I value education. I don't like my school. I think it sucks. I don't think I have the good resources. I feel like it wastes a lot of my time. I feel like I'm not as productive as I could be when I'm at school because the system is set up in a way that I just cannot be productive. It's like, shut up, open your books and read or whatever. And even if you know the material, you cannot do something else. Like, move on. It's boring. It's annoying. But yeah, it's a whole other thing. But learning and school can be separate. They don't have to go hand in hand together. The internet is free. You can learn a lot from the internet. YouTube videos, Google, Wikipedia, like whatever browser you use. What do Apple users use? I don't know. I don't care. I don't remember. Anyways, I think there's no point in being competitive. Like, it's really just like making a good product, or like making a good video, or not saying that this is a good video, but making something in life, even like studying whatever. It's just fall in love with the process of what you're doing. Enjoy the process, because the process of what you're doing is you actually living, Fall in love with the process of living, being alive, of keeping you alive, of practicing hobbies and whatever not. You're gonna be okay. There's no need to destroy yourself. There's always time. You can always try again. And I acknowledge all those things. I'm okay with that. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own timeline. I'm not behind. I'm not ahead. I'm right on time for my path. And that's okay. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna try hard. Of course I'm gonna try my hardest. I'm gonna try my best. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be my call. If I don't get into the school that I want, if I don't get into the program that I want, to study in, I can choose another program, or I can just try again next year. The world doesn't end. The world doesn't end. It's okay. And it doesn't matter what people are gonna say. People are not thinking about you. people are not talking about you. And if they are, they're your fans. Monetize them. But like, yeah, that's really what I would say. Like, if people are talking behind your back or, you know, whatever, making fun of you, like, trying to put you down because they're insecure and pathetic themselves. You know, when I had people like that in my first year of high school, you know what I would call them? And I still call them? Fans. Fans. Because, like, how are you going to be obsessed with everything about me? How are you going to talk about everything about me? How are you going to talk about every single inch of me? You know? How are you going to talk about my shoes, my hair, my makeup, my face, if the way I'm breathing, if I'm like, if I sign, like, what is wrong with you? Like that's obsession. It's giving fun behavior. Get a life, generally. It's okay. Don't care. Because I understand that these people have their own issues with themselves, and they're just projecting those things onto me, and they're probably projecting some things onto you. And you know, doesn't mean that they're bad people. Doesn't mean that they're good people. They're just people who are struggling. And I, for one, I'm not gonna sit there and try and save every single one of them and help every single one of them. I'm gonna mind my own business. Let them talk. Gossipers, whatever. We're not on the same energetical field, and you don't deserve my energy. You don't deserve my time. You don't even deserve my breath. You don't deserve the breath that I'm wasting talking to you. That's why I don't talk to them. But I'm only saying all these things right now because they're worthwhile to a person that's struggling, that's going through something similar. Because we're human beings, and at the end of the day, all of us are probably gonna go through something similar. You know, we're gonna go through heartbreaks. We're gonna get married. Maybe some of us not. I don't know. Maybe get pets. Maybe, you know, we're all gonna feel our emotions. Some person's gonna like hurt you. Some person's gonna help you. Some person's gonna heal you. Some, you know, all these things are just part of life. Anyways, this is it. End of daily entry. Thank you for being here. I love you. Kisses till next time.